Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're kicking off our Moroccan series with a cinematic road trip from Marrakech to the iconic Atlas Studios and later to the ancient ksar of Aït Ben Haddou, both UNESCO worthy in their own rights and total movie magnets. But before we dive into the film magic, let's rewind just a little bit. Prior to planning our 2-week vacation in Morocco, we chose to base ourselves in Marrakech for several days. And with everything said and done, it was a great decision. Not only is it bursting with culture, color, and energy, but it also serves as the perfect hub to discover many parts of the country. Now's the time to hit that subscribe and notification bell, because we'll soon be adding more vlogs on Marrakech, incredible day trips we ran from here, and of course, there's a big surprise that we know you'll love. So stay tuned. So let's hit the road. We're off to the legendary Atlas Studios. Our meetup spot was scheduled for 7 a.m. at the Jima El Efna town square. We needed to wake up early and didn't want to miss out on our breakfast, which was included at our riad. Luckily, we had a very caring and attentive host, Simo, who offered to prepare a breakfast prior to our departure. It took a little getting used to navigating around our riad, especially since it was located in the Medina. But by this point in our stay, we knew it would only take us 8 minutes to get to the square. Jima El Efna is a main pickup spot for excursions. It's worth mentioning that automobiles can circulate during the morning, but later it closes for pedestrians. Once at the square, we quickly located our guide and transport van. One thing we appreciated about this particular excursion is how it allowed for several stops on the way over to Ouarzazate. As we recall, we stopped over for a washroom break and coffee, then we stopped somewhere in the peak of the mountains to take some pictures and enjoy the view. And we also stopped at an argan oil shop. Stay tuned for our Essaouira excursion, where we'll dive deeper into that topic. Located near Ouarzazate, often called the Hollywood of Africa, Atlas Studios is one of the world's largest film studios. This place has been the backdrop for countless blockbuster movies and TV shows, some of which you might have heard, like Gladiator, Game of Thrones, The Mummy, Prince of Persia, and Kingdom of Heaven. It was surreal to walk through the ancient-looking temples, Egyptian pyramids, and Roman colosseums, all built for the screen. Some of the sets are still standing, while others are half eroded by time and desert winds, which added to the charm. If you're a film buff or just love behind-the-scenes moments, this is a must-visit. Our guide was pretty chill and encouraged us to take some different videos and photos. And that's me driving the bus for Speed 4. We got back to the transport van and took a quick drive over to Aït Ben Haddou for a lunch break. Nothing too fancy, but delicious local food with a view of the desert. After our allocated time for lunch, our guide and a local Berber gathered us for a hike towards the jaw-dropping village of Aït Ben Haddou, a ksar that looks straight out of a dream. A ksar is typically a cluster of earthen buildings surrounded by defensive walls, often with corner towers and a main gate. These villages were usually built by Berber communities and served as communal granaries residences, and trading posts, especially along caravan routes. It's worth mentioning that 2 weeks prior to our visit, parts of Morocco were damaged by an earthquake, which left much damage in the city of Marrakech, the roads, and more notably, the village of Aït Ben Haddou. Parts of the mountain collapsed, including a house at the peak of the mountain, which we'll soon demonstrate. This fortified village, made of earth and clay, sits atop a hill that stood for centuries. It's so picturesque, there's no surprise that it was featured in movies, like Gladiator, Lawrence of Arabia, and Game of Thrones. Yeah, this was Yunkai in Game of Thrones. Walking through its narrow alleys and climbing up to the top gives you a panoramic view that's worth every step. Our guide showed us the way up the mountain, which included a few stops. The first was a demonstration of a unique painting technique, using various natural color elements. Local Berber artists create a unique and fascinating form of artwork known as magic paintings or fire paintings. These paintings are made using natural elements such as saffron for the yellow tones, henna for the brownish shades, indigo for the blues, tea or coffee as the base wash or color, sometimes even charcoal or rust for darker accents. The process starts with the artist painting a design using this invisible ink-like mix on this special type of paper. When the piece is done, they heat the back of the paper over a flame. And that's when the image magically appears, revealed by the heat. These are unique pieces, so we decided to get one for ourselves. Actually, like we mentioned earlier, many things are negotiable in Morocco, which is especially true when shopping in the Medina or souks. We could have asked for a discount, but seeing the demonstration, the recent earthquake, and how it was a unique piece, we decided to pay the asking price. After the stop, we continued up the mountain until we reached a villager's home. Our guide George knew the man, who invited our group inside. I was just mesmerized by the artwork on the man's front door, which also had an intricate locking mechanism and a key to enter. We were able to see inside a local's home, walked up and down their narrow stairs, witnessed how they lived and listened to their stories. Then, for the last leg of our journey, we continued marching up to the very top of the mountain, which is when we were blessed with magnificent views of the region. We also witnessed Mother Nature's strength with the damage left behind by the earthquake. Before heading back down, George told us we were invited to have some tea and a small snack at the villager's home. So we all cuddled up in one of their rooms and enjoyed some tea. It was really surreal, not only to visit the village, but to get to see inside a local's home. A true testament of their welcoming manner. Not only is Marrakech different on the architectural level, once in Aït Ben Haddou, you get to see a different layer of architecture. Since we booked a day trip, it was back to Marrakech for us. But little did we know, we could have continued onwards with the 3-day excursion, and the Sahara Desert being one of our next stops. At this stage in our vacation, many destinations were still up in the air, and we weren't yet decided on visiting the Sahara. But seriously, to come all this way and not set foot on the Sahara? I don't think so. Once back in Marrakech, our driver dropped us off near the square of Jima El Ifna. Actually, let's back up just a bit. Prior to visiting Morocco, I rented a car to drive us from Marrakech to Fez, since I thought the only alternative was to fly there. If you look at Google Maps, it doesn't showcase other options. And on the drive back from Aït Ben Haddou, a harsh reality set in, as I imagined myself stressed as hell driving here during our vacation. At one point, I felt like I was in the second Matrix movie, where they were dodging cars and motorcycles in the same lane. Jokingly discussing with another tourist, I said I came here for a vacation, not for a rally drive in Morocco. Which is when he told me he was navigating most of the country by train. So once back at the hotel that night, I cancelled our car rental and bought 2 first-class return tickets from Marrakech to Fez. And that's how this adventure began. And that wraps up our first Moroccan adventure. From standing in the iconic movie sets to discovering ancient villages, today's excursion shows just how much Morocco has to offer, even in just a single day. We're just getting started with our Moroccan series, so if you're wondering how long should I stay in Marrakech, where else can I visit, and is it safe and easy to travel here, then stay tuned because we've got you covered. If you enjoyed today's vlog and you found it useful, go ahead and give us a like on your smartphone or computer. Follow along and subscribe as we uncover more of this magical country. And hey, let us know in the comment section if you'd ever visit the Atlas Studios in Aït Ben Haddou. Nshufek Brazia.